At the time of me recording this video, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has been out for about 2 years now, and it is a controversial game, not only in Pokemon, but a controversial Nintendo game. And I do like the game. Like, it is my second Pokemon game that I ever played, and I did like the game. To sum up my experience with the franchise, I did not grow up a major fan of the franchise. I didn't play the games, but I did watch the black and white anime and some episodes of the Sun and Moon anime, and I did collect the cards because I like the art. But over the years, I did kind of come around, and I did play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee because my little bro, he wanted the game and he wanted me to play the game with him because, hey, that game had multiplayer for some reason, and the multiplayer was fun, and it's a shame not a lot of people talk about it. So when Scarlet and Violet came out, I was just thinking, this looks interesting, let me check this game out. And I did play the game, and I thought it was fun, but I did have some complaints. So today, I'm making this short video going over some pros and cons of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Before the video starts though, just know this is coming from a more casual player. I'm not a hardcore Pokemon player, I'm just someone that likes the franchise. And these are my opinions. You don't have to agree. I'm not trying to speak for every Pokemon fan. And in the comments, let me know, what do you guys think of Scarlet and Violet? What are your takes? For starters, I want to get the cons out the way, because not only are there not too many of them, but the cons do kind of put a major impact on the game. So I want to get that out the way real quick. So let's talk about the elephant in the room and the missing Pokemon. Even with the 2 DLC waves that came out, there are still, I want to say, about 100 missing Pokemon from the Pokemon decks. And I do get, like, there is over 1,000 Pokemon now, so they can't really, like, I can understand how it can be hard to find a place for every Pokemon, especially for, you know, the rarer Pokemon. But why can't we transfer them from Pokemon Home at least? Like, there's probably something I'm missing, and maybe it's because of balance scaling, but I don't understand that too much. Like, maybe there's something I'm missing, so in the comments let me know, because I don't understand, like, why we can't be able to transfer every Pokemon from Pokemon Home. Like, I understand the whole national Pokemon decks, I understand that, but why can't we transfer the Pokemon? Second, this game is buggy as hell. When the game first came out, there were so many glitches that were discovered, and a lot of them were easy to perform. I didn't come across a lot of them, but I did come across some of the more common ones. Like, I do remember this point where my Tinkaton got stuck in the ground during the Larry fight, and I do remember constantly falling off the map and having to respawn. And the reason these glitches probably exist is because the game was rushed to come out during Christmas time or the holidays. Fortunately, it seems Game Freak is allowing the developers to spend more time on the game, because with Pokemon Legends ZA, that game was announced a year ago and it's coming out later this year, so it does seem like they're spending more time on the games and not really popping them out, because before, a Pokemon game of some kind came out at least once a year. Another thing, this game is kind of slow. Like, it's mainly during the intro of the game, and I do understand, like, it's an open world game, but they have to start it somehow so the player understands everything and what they need to do. But this game is kind of slow, and it doesn't help how you can't skip cutscenes and how you can't skip the text box, my bad. And even during online play, specifically during the Terra Raid battles, the game is, like, really slow, and it kills the pacing for me. Like, I'm not gonna go too heavy with the Terra battles because those are basically optional, but during the opening, it is kind of slow, and I do hope like they start adding skip cutscene, like a feature to just skip the cutscenes. And my final complaint about Scarlet and Violet is I don't think the game looks that good when it comes to the graphics. I think the towns look fine, but when you're out exploring the different routes, I just don't think it looks that good. Like, it's probably not as bad as Pokemon Sword and Shield. Then again, I haven't played that game in a while, so I can't really tell. But Scarlet and Violet does not have the best looking graphics, and I'm not asking Game Freak to, you know, put as much detail as possible, but at least make your game look pleasant on the eyes. Like, making it look like it came out at least 5 years and not really 15 years ago. And maybe it's because I'm biased, but if you compare the models in Scarlet and Violet to like Legends Arceus and even Sword and Shield, the models don't really look that good. Like in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, they at least popped out from the way the textures looked on them, but in Scarlet and Violet, they just look kind of lacking and dull. So those were all my cons. I feel like there's like one I'm missing, but it doesn't matter because if I forgot it, it probably wasn't that much of a big deal. But moving on to pros, we actually got a lot here. And starting off, for the first pro, this is a proper open world Pokemon game, and that's actually a genius idea. You know, you look at something like Pal World, which is a unique take on the Pokemon monster collecting thing, but you know, you put that with actual Pokemon, something Legends of Arceus was kind of doing, but not really to the full extent. You know, this is actually kind of fun, just being able to go almost anywhere and look for different types of Pokemon. I say almost because you get a partner during this adventure, and depending on the version you got, either Miraidon, what were their names? Koraidon and Miraidon. Those were your partners in the game, and this is what sold it for me. Pokemon motorcycles that you get to ride, and they help you explore the region, and you can even use these special type of sandwiches to increase their skills, which allows you to explore even more areas in the game. And that just sold it for me. You know, you got these Pokemon that are shaped like bikes. One's like a prehistoric version and one is like a metallic robo version. They both got cool designs. It sold it for me. And I'm not going to go too deep into it because I'll kind of be here all day, but the story is actually interesting. It's unique for a Pokemon game. There are 3 different plots, and then they all come together into one final battle. You got the plot with Nemona. She's trying to take on all the gym leaders and become a champion. There's Arven, who's trying to take on the different Titans so he can make a sandwich to heal his... I forgot what the Pokemon's called, but it's a sick dog Pokemon. It's sad. And then there's Team Starfall, which is my least favorite, but it's still a decent plot, with Penny trying to take down Team Star. And these characters, the Penny, Arven, and Nemona, I like these characters. Like, they're fun characters to just hang out with. And it's a shame because we might not see them in a future game. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, but I do like these characters. It was fun just hanging out with them, especially during the end, which I'm not gonna cover because that's kind of spoilers. If you care or not, whatever. So when the DLC first came out, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but when Wave 2 came out, I thought it was amazing. Like, it felt like a proper evolution to what the base game was doing. It's just more of that. Now you're taking on the new Elite Four, which is honestly more fun to do than the actual Elite Four in the game. And the characters you meet in the DLC, Carmine and Kyron, I think that's how you spell their names, they're cool as well. I like their plot line during the DLC and how it adds like a part 1 and a part 2 during the 2 different DLCs. It was interesting and I liked it, and I like how it all came to a good climax when you go back to Paldea, but again, that's spoilers. I'm not really going there. And dude, the starters in this game are actually really cool. Like, I like them. Like, I actually had a problem picking which one am I gonna go with, because each of them stood out to me and I wanted all of them. Apparently people have a problem with the starters having a unique theme, and again, I'm not really a hardcore Pokemon fan, but I don't really care. Like, I like each of these starters. Like, they're all fun to use and I like their designs. Like, especially Flacoco. Like, I like how he just looks like a apple that was cut in half, and then as he grows up into this cool fire crocodile thing. But personally, my favorite has to be Sprigatito. I always been asking for like a grass cat Pokemon starter. Like, that's something I told myself, all right, if Game Freak ever adds like a grass cat or grass dog starter, I'll play a Pokemon game. And they did, and again, it sold me on it. I was sold. Not to mention the new Pokemon they added in the game and the DLC. Pokemon like Annihilate with the cool fight ghost type, Armarouge and Surledge, I think that's how you say his name, the fire psychic and fire ghost type. I'll always be a fan of fire ghost types. Bro, Toadscrew has the most funny walking animation. It's just this squid walking on ground, and it has me cracking up. And like, dude, like, I haven't even brought up the Paradox Pokemon because I love this concept. Like, you get this fan favorite Pokemon, you give it a unique design, like either based off prehistoric era or like a futuristic era. And the names of the Iron Pokemon, I would say, is kind of lazy. Like, they all have like Iron something, which is just lazy, especially when the Scarlet Paradox Pokemon have more unique names like Screamtail, Brute Bonnet. But with that being said, like, all of these Pokemon like look cool and fun to use. Like, especially the Iron Pokemon, like, I like the designs. Like Iron Hands, that's probably my favorite. The DLC brought us even more Pokemon like Ogerpon. Like, Ogerpon is someone that should always be protected at all costs. And I kind of brought them up earlier, but the Titans and Team Star, there are unique ways of changing up the Pokemon combat without going too extreme. Like, the Titans, they feel like more traditional boss fights, and Team Starfall, it takes advantage of the new auto battle feature, and the auto battle feature is something I really like. It makes grinding go by a lot faster. And the best part about auto battle is they don't take out shiny Pokemon. And shiny Pokemon, like, they do have changes in this game. For starters, I don't think they have the sparkles anymore, and they don't make a unique noise when they spawn, which does make it kind of harder to make shinies appear. But if you get the shiny charm by completing your Pokédex and by using the new sandwich making thing, and bro, I love this mechanic. Like, if you're out in the wild, you can just set up a picnic, hang out with your Pokemon, and just make a sandwich. Like, I love sandwiches, but I swear I would just turn on Scarlet and Violet just to put on a picnic and make a sandwich. I don't even play the actual game. I just like the vibes of the picnics. And this is also how you get to make Pokemon breed, so you can get eggs. And I know I was kind of crapping on the online play and how laggy it is, but if you actually do what I do and just hang out with someone local play, which thank God you don't need online play to play with someone, you just need 2 switches and 2 versions of the game or 2 copies. It's actually fun just to ask someone to hang out and go collecting Pokemon. I kind of wish it was a bit deeper with the whole multiplayer thing, because when they first showed off the multiplayer in 2022, I kind of thought, oh, is that like the main theme now? Like, is that what's gonna make the game unique? And no, that wasn't the main gimmick. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I do kind of like how the multiplayer works. Like, it doesn't really feel as limiting. as I thought it was gonna be. It's fun, it works. I'm not sure about online though. I don't really do that because I just don't like playing Nintendo games online. It's slow and they really need to fix their servers, especially for Mario Maker 2. But it's fun. That's all I have to say. I forgot to mention this earlier, but in the Teal Mask DLC or whatever it is, it's a second DLC where you're underwater. There's something called BBQ quests, and these are kind of fun. It is a bit grindy because you do need to do these to unlock certain things, but these are fun and they're simple to do. And I'm pretty sure you can also do these in multiplayer. I haven't really tried that though. And before I forget, I do got to bring this up. The music, not every soundtrack is my favorite, but the ones that are my favorite are really good. The trainer battle theme, the Nemona battle theme, the Arven battle theme, the Penny battle theme, the gym leader theme, the theme of the final boss when you're trying to save the world. It's really good. I'm pretty sure Toby Fox helped compose some of the soundtracks. I only heard that. I can't confirm that. Well, actually, I can't confirm that. Let me just search it up. Yeah, I was right. It was Toby Fox. He's actually been doing soundtracks for Pokemon since Sword and Shield. I'm not sure which soundtracks, but I can confirm that he did do the final track for the final boss. And it is a really good one. If you haven't heard it, I recommend it. It's a really good jam. If you haven't listened to Toby Fox music before, what are you doing? Go search it up. So to end off the video, the final topic I'm talking about is Terastallization. Ever since X and Y, I believe, Pokemon has been doing a unique gimmick to kind of help the game stand out. First they started with Mega Evolutions, which is a really good gimmick. I'm not gonna lie, I love Megas, and they're bringing it back for Legends ZA, but they for some reason haven't shown off any new Megas for some reason. Then in Sun and Moon it was the Z moves, which is kind of whatever. I didn't play Sun and Moon anyways. I only watched the anime. I didn't really care. In Sword and Shield, a game I have played, it was I forgot what it's called. Oh, Dynamax and like G-Max. The Pokemon in certain parts of the game can turn giant. I didn't really like the gimmick. It really felt like a gimmick that was put there because they needed a gimmick for their Pokemon game. I didn't really like it. And then but in Legends Arceus, they kind of had a gimmick with the agility and offensive moves, but again, it's not really a gimmick. It's more of just an option of combat you can do, which I guess you could say it's a gimmick. But the next major gimmick of Pokemon was Terastallization, and it's okay. I'm not sure what a lot of people think of it, but I do think it's a decent gimmick. I'm not too deep into Pokemon combat. I only play the game to collect monsters I like and battle with them. You know, try to collect every Pokemon, try to have as much fun as I can. And Terastallization was a unique gimmick, I'll say that. When a Pokemon terastallize, to sum it up, it's basically they get a crystal body and they get a cool hat. But the main actual mechanics of the gimmick is, depending on what Terra type that Pokemon has, it will increase the power of the Pokemon moves of that same type. For example, of Meowscarada, which is a grass type, and my Meowscarada has a grass Terra type. It will increase the moves of all its grass types, but that's not all it does though. Like, it's kind of like changing the type of the Pokemon as well. Like, another example is my Toxtricity, which is a poison electric type, but it actually has a normal Terra type. You know, when it has to terastallize, it turns into a normal type. I believe that's how it works. And I just thought it was a okay gimmick. It's nothing too bad or honestly too OP. It might be a bit OP in certain parts, but I thought it was just okay. So, to come to a conclusion, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is not a perfect game, not so ever. There's a lot of pros, but there are some cons that kind of keep the game from becoming a really good game. But regardless, I do go back to the game and I do have fun. There are just a lot of cool things about it, even with the cons. But with that all coming to an end, Legend ZA is coming out later this year. And what do you guys think about Scarlet and Violet and the future of Pokemon?